Imagine that a man finds his ideal partner, but it is not a human woman, but a robot. With modern technological advances in artificial intelligence and robotics, this is no longer a science fiction scenario, but a possibility increasingly closer to reality. These robots can perform functions ranging from providing emotional companionship to satisfying sexual needs. Thanks to their ability to learn and adapt, they can interact in an increasingly human way, responding to the needs and desires of their users. In this video, we will carry out a comprehensive analysis of how these technological advances could transform our interpersonal relationships and the social structure in general. We will explore the ethical, psychological, and cultural implications of living with robots that have advanced interaction and learning capabilities. Furthermore, we will examine this topic in light of biblical prophecies. Did the Bible predict the arrival of non-human beings who would interact with us on such an intimate level? Could this be a definitive sign of the end times according to Scripture? Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you every time we publish a new video. Let's start. Without a doubt, science never ceases to surprise us with its innovations. In recent years, we have witnessed unprecedented technological advances that have transformed multiple aspects of our lives. From artificial intelligence and advanced robotics to biotechnology and quantum computing, these developments have opened new frontiers in human knowledge and capability. Artificial intelligence has evolved significantly since its inception in the 1950s. Initially, AI systems were based on predefined rules and logic. But over time, they have advanced towards more sophisticated models, such as machine learning and deep neural networks. This has allowed the creation of autonomous systems that learn and make decisions, revolutionizing fields such as medicine and industry. Robotics has reached levels of sophistication that allow complex and precise tasks to be carried out, integrating AI to adapt to new situations. In biotechnology, gene editing has revolutionized the ability to treat inherited diseases, while quantum computing promises to solve complex problems with applications in cryptography and drug development. On the other hand, robotics has advanced in parallel with AI, with significant developments in mechanics, electronics, and software that allow robots to perform complex tasks. The integration of AI into robotics has led to the creation of robots capable of interacting with their environment intelligently, including the ability to recognize and respond to human emotions. Today, robots are used in a variety of contexts, from industrial manufacturing to healthcare and education. Notable examples include robots like Sophia, developed by Hanson Robotics, which can convincingly interact with humans, and robots from Boston Dynamics, which demonstrate advanced physical abilities. Now, the creation of robots as companions, beyond science fiction. Companion robots are designed to interact meaningfully with humans, providing companionship and emotional support. These robots can have a human or non-human appearance and are equipped with advanced AI that allows them to learn and adapt to the needs of their users. Thanks to deep learning algorithms, companion robots can recognize and respond to human emotions. Maintain coherent conversations and learn from your past interactions to improve your performance. This allows them to develop a personalized relationship with each user. Companion robots are not only designed to provide emotional companionship, but can also be equipped with features to satisfy sexual needs. Robots designed to satisfy sexual needs, often known as sex bots or sex robots, are increasingly present in the technology market. These devices are designed not only to provide physical pleasure, but also to offer a more complete interaction experience, including the ability to hold conversations and respond to emotional stimuli. Now, let's look at the characteristics of sex robots. First, interactivity. Many sex robots are equipped with artificial intelligence that allows them to maintain conversations and respond in a personalized way to their users. This may include speech recognition, simulated emotional response, and learning individual preferences. Second, realism. They are designed with advanced materials that imitate human skin and detailed anatomy to offer the most realistic experience possible. Some can even move in a limited way. Third, customization. Users can customize many aspects of the robot, from its physical appearance to its responses and behaviors, adapting it to their specific preferences and fantasies. Now, sex robots are a specific category of robots designed to provide companionship and sexual experiences to users. This field has been in development for several years, and several companies are at the forefront of creating these robots. Doll prices can vary considerably depending on their type and characteristics. Basic dolls usually cost around $2,000, while high-end ones, which can include more elaborate details, higher quality materials, and exclusive features, can reach prices of up to $50,000. Dear listener, as we can see, the current situation around sex robots reflects a concrete and evolving reality. The market for these robots is experiencing continuous and accelerated growth, driven by the growing demand for viable alternatives to traditional human relationships. Many people are choosing these robots because of their ability to offer personalized companionship free of the typical complications of interpersonal relationships. The trend suggests that in the near future, a significant number of people could choose to have a female robot instead of a human companion, making this option an integral part of their lives. This development is not far from representation in the media, where robots are often shown performing household tasks and participating in the daily lives of their users. Although these scenarios often fall into the realm of science fiction, current technological advances are increasingly bringing the possibility of sex robots taking on practical roles in the home and daily life. In this context, it is evident that technology will continue to advance and that the sex robot market will continue to expand, changing our way of understanding relationships and company. Now, the development of sex robots also raises a series of ethical and social questions said by experts, including issues about consent, the objectification of people, and the impact on human relationships, which we will see below. First, mental health. There are concerns about how relationships with sex robots can affect people's mental and emotional health. Some experts fear that these interactions could lead to greater social disconnection and make genuine human relationships difficult. Second, dehumanization. There is debate about whether the use of sex robots may encourage the dehumanization of sexual relationships and the treatment of robots, and potentially people, as objects of gratification rather than beings with agency and emotions. Third, consent and ethics. The lack of consent of a robot, which is a machine without consciousness, raises questions about the ethics of using such devices. Fourth, impact on real relationships. There is concern that easy access to sexual gratification through robots may decrease the effort to maintain human relationships and reduce the perception of the value of interpersonal connections. As technology advances, sex robots are likely to become more sophisticated and accessible. This could lead to greater social acceptance and a change in sexual norms and expectations. Now, what do we find in the Bible on this topic and what are its implications? The Bible, as a sacred text and moral guide for millions of people, addresses various ethical and philosophical issues that may be related to the use and development of technology, including sex robots. It is important to consider how biblical principles about human dignity, morality, and interpersonal relationships can influence our perspective on these innovations. Analyzing these aspects allows us to reflect on the ethical and spiritual implications of integrating sex robots into today's society. The Bible made mention of the sophisticated advances in science. Let's read in Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But you, Daniel, close the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many will run from here to there, and science will increase. Although the prophet did not make specific predictions about scientific and technological advances, he did address in a general way all future technological developments, and it is in this direction that we are seeing his visions fulfilled. As humans continue to experience accelerated growth in technological advancements, we are seeing how these innovations are shaping an environment that, according to some prophetic interpretations, is paving the way for the arrival of the Antichrist. Dear listener, it is time to analyze this topic in the light of the Bible. Although the Bible does not explicitly address modern technology such as sex robots, we can draw relevant principles to consider this issue. The Bible emphasizes human dignity, the sanctity of marriage, and the importance of genuine interpersonal relationships. Let's analyze below. First of all, human dignity. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, it says, "And God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them." This implies that each person has an intrinsic value and a fundamental dignity that must be respected in all circumstances. The use of sex robots could be seen as a form of dehumanization of intimacy, in which people are reduced to mere objects of physical satisfaction. This phenomenon not only questions the essence of human relationships by transforming the sexual act into a mechanical transaction, but can also contribute to the devaluation of authentic and emotional human experience. In second place, sanctity of marriage. In Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4 says, "Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But God will judge fornicators and adulterers." According to biblical teachings, the sexual relationship within marriage should be a deep expression of love, commitment, and unity between spouses. This act is considered sacred, intended to strengthen the marital bond and reflect the unconditional love and fidelity expected in a marital union. The presence of sex robots in this context could trivialize and distort the spiritual and emotional purpose of marital intimacy, transforming an experience that should be rich in meaning and connection into a mere physical and transactional interaction. The use of these robots can reduce intimacy to an act stripped of its emotional and spiritual dimensions, moving away from the biblical vision that sees the sexual act as an expression of true love and a means to strengthen the bond between a couple. Furthermore, this approach could lead to a devaluation of the authentic human relationship, in which love, mutual respect, and commitment are essential, and instead promote a more superficial and materialistic view of sexuality. In third place, genuine interpersonal relationships. Jesus taught the importance of love and authentic relationships between people. Let's read the Gospel of John chapter 13, verses 34 and 35. "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another. As I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." The introduction of sex robots could hinder the development of authentic and meaningful human relationships, fostering emotional and spiritual disconnection. This technology could trivialize love, reducing it to a superficial and transactional aspect. It is important to understand that sex should not be separated from the genuine love that prevails in a couple. Rather, sex should be a natural and deep manifestation of that love. However, the contemporary tendency of some couples to emphasize sex without the context of true love can lead to tragic results, devaluing the importance of deep emotional connections and spiritual intimacy that are fundamental in lasting and meaningful human relationships. In fourth place, the use of sex robots represents a form of human depravity. The Bible teaches that the world is under the influence of the evil one, who seeks to divert humanity from God's original designs. According to this view, sex should be practiced within marriage as a sacred expression of love and union. The act of having sex with robots is considered an abominable sin, as it distorts the divine purpose of sex and is associated with immoral practices such as fornication, masturbation, and in some cases even bestiality. The use of sex robots, by contradicting biblical principles on sexuality, contributes to the corruption of the true nature of love and intimate relationships. Let's read Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. "And the Lord saw that the wickedness of men was great in the land, and that every imagination of the thoughts of their heart was only evil continually. The pre-flood generation experienced moral, spiritual, and social corruption to the lowest level. The text mentions the term saw. This indicates that God is carefully observing the state of humanity. It is not a simple passive observation, but a deep evaluation of the moral situation of the human being. The phrase, that the evil of men was great on earth, highlights that evil was not an exception, but a general characteristic among human beings. Here, it was many in the land suggests that this evil was not limited to a few, but had spread widely among all people on the earth. Furthermore, the expression, and that every imagination of the thoughts of their heart was only evil continually, implies that the intentions, desires, and thoughts of the people were constantly focused on evil. Only evil continually indicates that this evil was not something occasional or sporadic, but was a permanent and dominant characteristic in people's lives. Jesus described the generation approaching the end of time as a time of profound corruption and evil, comparing it to the generations of the flood and Sodom and Gomorrah. Using these historical examples, Jesus illustrated that the moral condition of this final generation will be even more perverse than that of societies destroyed in the past. In the flood, humanity reached a state of evil that led God to purify the earth, and in Sodom and Gomorrah, extreme perversion resulted in the destruction of those cities. By making this comparison, Jesus warned that the evil of the final generation would be a clear sign of the end of times and the imminent divine judgment, anticipating the fulfillment of the prophecies about the return of Christ and the end of the world. In these prophetic times, we are called to remain vigilant, for the coming of our Lord Jesus is near. As the world descends into evil and decay, we must remain faithful to our faith, dedicating ourselves to the pursuit of holiness and living in obedience to the teachings of Christ, preparing for his return. And so we come to the end of this video. Thank you for being part of our channel. God bless you abundantly. Until the next video.